Okay, this is going to be like thigh and up.
Okay.
Is that fine?
Yeah, that works.
All right. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, everybody. I'm Stephen Harowitz, and I'm the Executive Director of Campfire, and I'm going to talk to you today about how to use a microphone. I've been around mics my entire life, and I'm here to hopefully pass along some really basic but helpful tips on how you can do a better job using a microphone and making sure your audience and audiences can really hear what you're trying to say. So the first thing that I will tell you is, if they offer you a microphone, take it. For a whole host of reasons, that if you're sitting there thinking, well, I can really project my voice, that's great. But microphones in any type of room, if somebody's hard of hearing, is going to help them really pick up what you're trying to say. And it's going to make your job as a presenter so much easier. So at the end of the day, the best tip I can give you is if you get offered a microphone, use it. Understanding a little bit more about a microphone is going to make you better at using one. So this is a pretty standard mic that you might see or use. And something to know about it is the pickup pattern and where it picks up audio. So this is called a cardioid pattern, and it picks up sound around here, and it picks up sound around here. It doesn't pick up any sound here or all the way out here. So it's helpful to know that because now you know where it's going to grab that audio from. You're better aware of where you have it pointed. Because if you're using a mic and you start to move over here, it's not going to pick you up at all. So as long as you know where the audio is getting snagged from, you can work with that. So this is cardioid mic, and this is probably what you're going to be using most of the time. So this is a grip release mic stand. So we're going to press this in. That's going to release and allow us to extend the mic stand up. And then when we got it to a level we like, we just release that grip again, and now it's locked in. So the first thing that I do if I walk up to a microphone on a stand, I'm going to use this grip, and I'm going to bring it up to my chin, and I'm going to tilt it up a little bit to my mouth. And here's why. With this microphone, I do not want to speak directly into it, because this is what's going to happen. If I raise this all the way up and I tilt it towards my mouth, one, it's hard for people to see your face. So if anybody's taking photos, there's an event photographer, this mic's going to be in your face. It's not going to look great. Also for accessibility purposes, if somebody uses lip reading, it's harder to see your mouth move. But the main piece is something called plosives. And this is usually like harsher consonant sounds. So let me show you what that means. If I'm saying something with a P or B in it, if the mic is right in my face and I say P, I'm blowing air directly into this grill of this microphone. And that's going to get picked up and amplified. So a P or a B. If I bring it down to my chin and I tilt up slightly and I'm talking over the mic, those P and B's, they might get picked up a little bit, but they're not nearly as harsh. For this, when we think about what's being amplified, we want to not be pushing air into this mic. We want to be speaking over it, and it's going to be a much more pleasant listening experience. The good rule of thumb here to use is 3 fingers. Put it up to the mic, into your chin, and that's a really nice distance from you to the microphone. So now we've got a good distance. We're talking over the microphone. And also with that distance too, I don't feel like I'm leaning forward. If for some reason you've got this down and you're stepped back, all of a sudden you're doing that lean, and it's not going to be comfortable for you, and it's not going to look good, and it's probably not going to sound good either. So that's distance. We talked about people who feel really good about projecting their voice, which is great. When we're using a mic, we don't need to do that much. We just want to let the mic do its job. So what I don't want to do is I don't want to talk really loudly because now I'm amplifying my own amplified voice. And I don't want to whisper either, because that means whoever's running the soundboard is going to probably turn up the volume a bunch. It'll pick up your voice more, but it's also going to pick up mouth sounds or room noises, or you might even get feedback. I've got 3 that might help you out a little bit more. They're not all totally mic-centric, but I think they're going to just help you with presentations in general. So the first one is body position. So we talked a little bit about this microphone pattern and where it picks up sound. So what we want to make sure of when we're using a mic, especially on a stand, is that we're not tilting our head away from the mic and doing one of these moves. It might still pick you up from the sides, but the more you shift your body and move around, the less likely you're going to get good audio. What's going to work better for you is pivoting your chest and your shoulders around the microphone. So my feet are planted and I might just pivot around, but I'm always keeping my mouth pointed towards the mic, but I'm still shifting my body. This is also really nice because it feels more inclusive for an audience. I'm pointing my body towards people. It's almost like scanning your eyes, but with your body. So that's bonus tip number 1. Number 2, if you're going to do a Q&A, sometimes for Q&As, there'll be an extra mic in the room and they'll be able to walk around the audience. And that's great because we can amplify those questions. If not, best thing I can tell you to do, repeat the question into the microphone. So if somebody's asking a question in the back of the room and you can kind of hear them, other people might not be able to. Or if somebody's in the front row and you can hear them, the people in the back might not be able to. You always want to repeat the question into the mic so everybody in the room feels included and they can all hear what's being asked and they can also hear your answer. Bonus tip number 2. Number 3, if you get a chance, do a sound check. If you have time in your room before any of the attendees come in, see if whoever's running the sound will let you do a sound check, especially if you're using a handheld wireless mic. Walk the room, make sure there's no dead spots where the microphone cuts out, and make sure you feel really comfortable with that microphone. It also helps too because if I take this mic off and I use it as a handheld mic, all of the things we've talked about are still applicable. But if you have a handheld mic, oftentimes what will happen is our hands get comfortable or tired and we just start to drop it down. So really we want to keep it here the whole time. And doing a sound check just helps you get comfortable with that. So again, know where it is in terms of your body and your mouth, and just remember to keep it up. And you can always practice that during a sound check to make sure it sounds good in the room before anybody comes in. All of those pieces put together are going to make you look way more confident, more professional, and you're just going to sound better to an audience because you know these tips and tricks. So try this the next time you're making a presentation, you're giving a talk, and I promise you, you'll feel better and so will the audience.